According to Front Office Sports, just wanted to throw this in here real quick. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he fired his agent, right? I believe the company is called Wazerman Group.
Wiserman.
Wiseman, excuse me. And then SGA, he's gonna save around 12 million, and he wants to potentially sign for a 4-year, 293 million extension now. Do you think that that's a good move, and is that really shaking things up within the sports world?
So I want to I want to change the word you used there. You used the word fire. He didn't fire them because firing them would have meant that he totally disconnected himself from that organization, which he didn't.
Okay.
What he did was he rearranged his agreement with them, which was around agency, marketing, and branding, like for off the court business opportunities, right? So he said, "Hey, I'm gonna take this part of my, my affairs, which is on the court. I'm going to handle the on the court stuff, which is, hey, I'm going to negotiate my contracts with these executives because I have the relationship with Sam Presti, the general manager. I have the relationship with the owner of the Oklahoma City Thunder. But I'm still going to allow you guys to handle all of my off the court stuff, which is, sneaker. He's signed to Converse, as you
Yep, he
guys
just
may or may
dropped his
not.
shoes. Yeah,
Right, his first shoe.
sneakers are
Right,
fire.
right. They are fire, and so the Wasserman Group is still going to handle all of those things. But he's not the first person or athlete rather, to do this, right? And I think you're going to start to see this more for the top 1%, right, of athletes, because they do have the relationship, and their market is going to be their market. What is an agent doing to negotiate a contract for a guy like the Wasserman Group? Shea can go and pay his own legal counsel to review the contract, right? So I don't really need them to do that. I have that at my disposal. The negotiating piece of it, bro. I'm an all-star. I'm gonna be all NBA first team. There's not much negotiating you're gonna have to do. My number's already gonna be set, and I'm gonna be able to go in and have those conversations with the general manager and the owner, right? So I like it. I mean, just to give you some other notable players across sports in general that have done that.
Right.
You had Lamar Jackson do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Back in 2019, he signed a 5 year, $260 million contract with the Baltimore Ravens. Sorry, that was in 2023, making him the highest paid player in the league at that time, right? You have Richard Sherman do that, right, back in 2018 when he signed a 3 year deal with the San Francisco 49ers. DeAndre Hopkins did it. Bobby Wagner,
Oh,
Edgerrin
I like Bobby
James.
Wagner. Yeah, Bobby Wagner. He had a fire video too where he sat down. It was like him talking to himself. I always loved that video that Bobby Wagner did. I'll show that to you later. But finish that.
Edgerrin James, Hall of Fame running back. He did it. I'm gonna give you somebody that was surprising when I kind of did a little bit of due diligence to see who else had did it. Ray Allen. And he
That
did
sounds
it,
like his speed.
right? But he did it because he had those strong relationships with the team executives, right? You had Andre Arshavian, which is in soccer. He negotiated his own contract. This was back in 2009, right? So I started doing a little bit of, I started to see a little bit of that, right? And so when I think about that, to answer your question in full, the top 1% of the athletes in every respective sport can do this because they're number one. And you might say, well, why are they? I'm gonna break it down to you. I'm gonna tell you the why, and then I'm gonna tell you what to look forward to in the future. Because with Shea doing this, he's not going to be the last, right? He is going to set a trend amongst the players, the top 1%, right? Part of it is they want that control, right? Players want to directly handle their own negotiations to ensure that it truly reflects their values. Not to say that the agent's not, right? That's why you hire an agent. Number one reason is they want to save money. Some of them already have strong market value, as I just mentioned, right? So there's not much we're negotiating. I already have the strong market. Like think of somebody like LeBron or Kevin Durant. What are we negotiating?
It's
My
Kevin
market value is
Durant.
my market, huh?
Yeah. I don't need you to go in there and tell me my value. I've done my research and I know what it is.
But also, bro, I'm fucking LeBron James. I'm Kevin Durant. Like, you know what
Yeah,
my value is.
yeah. There's not much you can tell me.
Yeah. So there's not much an agent's doing to go in and negotiate that. They're just basically working out whether, like, one of the strategic things that Rich Paul and them did at Clutch for LeBron when he was at when he went back to Cleveland was, LeBron was signing those 2-year deals, 1-year player options. So every summer
Absolutely.
he could reevaluate whether he wanted to return back to it. Kept him from being locked into deals like he did back in Cleveland early in his days in Cleveland, where those teams were shitty and he was locked into a 4-year deal. This was before players started requesting for trades and all of that, right? So, back in, I think that was 2016 when he returned back to Cleveland, or 2015, somewhere around there. It might have been 2015, or maybe even a little bit earlier than that. My years are a little blurred there. But my point is, his market value was already what it was. Rich just went in there and negotiated, Brown, we got to make sure we get you that we was going to sign a 2-year deal, but we're going to make sure you get that 1-year player option after each year so we can evaluate it based off of where the team is, right? So that might have been something ancillary to the contract that they negotiated, but he didn't go in there saying, this is what LeBron, this is what we want for LeBron. Like, that number was already set. They just, they had a, space to go over it. And again, a lot of these, and this is the last note I'll make on that, a lot of these players already have these relationships with the executives, bro. They already have the relationship. Like, I'm sure Shai is up in the office all the time with the owner and, talking with Sam Presti. So he looked at it like, if I can save $14 million, which I'm out of that additional $14 million, I'm only going to really walk with 7 after taxes because I'm in the highest tax bracket in the country. So if I can save some additional money and add it to my bottom line,
I'm saying that.
I'm taking that. That's my 7. And I'm gonna still let y'all handle. Y'all still gonna get paid, Wiseman, because I'm gonna let y'all handle my sneaker negotiations. I'm gonna let y'all handle any of my off the court marketing, deals. I'm gonna let y'all handle that. I don't want to get involved in all that. I just want to take control of this because I know what I'm worth, and it's already going to be demanded. I don't really need y'all to go in and do anything different. So what do you think about it, though?
Nah, it's good. I think it's important that there's only specific type of players that's going to be able to do these type of things. You know what I'm saying? Like, we were talking about the upper 1% or 5% type top tier player in the league that are going to be able to even have the resources and relationships to be able to do that. Jaylen Brown, he's on the side clapping up because that's his speed. He's all about ownership and being able to control your narrative. So I think that is good, but I know a lot of people as well, just to push the conversation a little bit further down the road, they don't like LeBron because he's encouraged players to have and take control of their narrative like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and Shai is that type of guy. And he's a team-oriented type person as well, too. So it wouldn't even surprise me if Shai was that type where he would, I'll put a little bit of money to the side if we can keep this nucleus together, because I see what we have going on in OKC and potentially who could come in. We talked about OKC a couple weeks ago and Kevin Durant possibly making that way. These are the type of movements that you got to start to make, because when you think down the line, what if OKC doesn't make it to the NBA Finals this year, or does make it but notices that they need an extra piece? These are conversations that he can have now and probably feel more comfortable having when he has these conversations.
And I'll add to that, right, and say, I'm going to tell players that if you're watching this video, right, and I, as a financial advisor to athletes, right, don't think that you gotta. I'm trying to make sure I get the words correct with this, because this is very important for people to understand. Don't look at Shai's situation and think that you can walk with that same level of cachet. You got to actually be
It takes time. It takes time.
Yes. I don't need people coming in trying to liberate themselves when they first come into the league and try to represent
jump too early.
Yourself. Relax. Just relax. Go sign with an agency. Let an agent who has these relationships with these executives help you. But what this did show was that Shai, what Shai demonstrated to y'all athletes out there that want to be able to have this type of control and power, is that he educated himself. He became more familiar with this. This wasn't just a move he made overnight because he wanted to save X amount of dollars. He had been preparing for this probably after his last contract extension, because he wanted to be in control. But he had to educate himself. He didn't just jump out there. Trust me, this was very methodical of him, very planned. He educated himself until this moment, and then he was like, "Okay, I'm ready to make this happen because
now I can make that happen. Yep.
I can make it happen. I got the leverage. Like I know what my value is going to be, right? And there's a lot of other stuff we can add to this that we may not be thinking about. But I just want players out there to just relax. Everybody does not need to represent themselves. In fact, I think there's power in having an agent, right? Because at the end of the day, your responsibility is to be a hooper. That's what Shai did first. He went and he dominated. He did his work.
Now he can step into these conversations because, like you said before, put the work in first.
Go put the work in first.
Please put the work in first.
Please.
And make sure you have an agent.
Yes. Make sure you have an agent. Make sure you have your agent to be able to. Don't just start jumping out the window with that.